What's up, you guys? It's your boy Shaydo in the building, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Is It Real? The show. Before you go, you ask Shaydo. That's right, because I'm never going to steer you wrong. Yes. And today's feature film is Snake Eyes. You know, G.I. Joe. Yeah, that's Snake Eyes. So yeah, he came out with his origin story. Is it good? Is it worth running to the theater to go see? Well, let's find out. All right. So first off the bat, I am glad that they did a background kind of dive into Snake Eyes history, because he's kind of one of those beloved G.I. Joe characters that everybody grew up with. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't grow up with, then maybe you got to know him in the later films that came out previously. But I like this origin story a lot better than those other Joes. I'm glad they just kind of canceled all of those out and went with something completely different and new, and I felt was more fitting, and I like how they did it. The downside to this is I felt that they didn't develop, let's say, use enough character development. I didn't think that they gave this Henry Golden enough time to develop that character. I was feeling disconnected still. I mean, I get the dark past, but I just felt like they could have had more of a dig upbringing into it. And it was cool. Also, I felt that they missed out on was the training, because it was cool that they were doing it and they were showing his coming through ranks trying to figure out life, but they didn't dive into it. Maybe I'm trying to copycat it, maybe I'm not, but if you remember the first Batman Christopher Nolan did, when he had Bruce Wayne training with Ra's al Ghul in the League of Assassins, they had a moment to do that, to really add intensity to this movie, but they missed it. So it really hurt. And there was a lot of things in this movie. They missed a lot of things that could have made this movie so memorable. It was teetering right there on the memorability, but they kept missing it. They just kept missing it. Another part they kept missing out on was who's good and who's bad. I'm watching this movie and I'm rooting for the bad guy because the good guy was just screwing over the bad guy. So I'm like, what the hell? You know, so it's, yeah. It's that kind of a movie. And it's sad to see something like that, because this movie had so much potential. Like, they actually kind of did some work for this movie. And I mean, it was shot, you know, I love the Japanese cinematography in this movie. The downside to it, I don't know why they used cameramen that were, you know, they tried to freestyle it. So they had cameramen and these guys are shaky. I felt most of the times it would have been better to just sit the camera on the tripod and walk away, because they had the grand master of them all for choreography for the fight scenes. So you missed out on a lot of those hand-to-hand comebacks that really would have had you feeling like you were in the fight. So that hurt. And I like seeing things like that in the film. And because the cameraman, you know, holding the camera, he's there in the shot. I mean, not in the shot, but close up. It's like maybe 2 or 3 feet of space is what you're seeing. So you're not seeing all the things that they're doing. I mean, like, and that's really disheartening. The director should have caught that. I mean, these guys train hard and, you know, practice to acquire. It's a dance, you know. This martial arts at its finest. I mean, they had some really great martial artists in this movie and didn't really capture it because of that. I mean, the CGI in this as well, it was decent. So I'm not gonna knock too much on it, but it was fair. It was decent. It was good. The writing on this could have been better. Once again, it's decent. Like, this movie, it was decent. It could have been better. It could have been memorable, but it just wasn't. And add it to my collection, maybe on a whim. Like, I wait till it comes out and it's like on a $5 table or something like that. Should I go running, or should you go run and break your neck to see this movie in the theater? I take that pass, you guys. I mean, it is cool to go see in the theater, it really is. But I mean, to be honest, like, for a moviegoer such as myself that had kind of some hopes for this movie, not high hopes, but some hopes, because the previous G.I. Joes kind of ruined anything to have high hopes about. But, you know, at least had some hopes with this being the origin story of Snake Eyes. I just wait for it to come on a streaming platform of some sort, or Blu-ray or DVD, if that's what you want to do too as well. But I mean, save your pennies and going to the theater, and then you end up spending on the movie, then food, and drive there. So yeah, I mean, it's not worth all that. I'm sorry. So that's why I go to the movies for you guys, to take the L for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just me, in my opinion. So, but go see it for yourself. But you've been warned, and I'll let you know what's up. Yeah. Okay, now for my cheese rating on this, I'm just gonna say it's cheddar. It's, you know, it's decent enough that you will finish the movie, but I'm just kind of disappointed with it, you guys. So it kind of is leaving the cheese without the punch. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have that sharpness to it. So this is just basic cheese, you guys. I don't want to go as like imitation cheese, because it's a little bit better than that. Anyway, let's keep it moving, you guys. Let's get to some oldies but goldies, you guys. Yes, and today's first oldie but goldie is Spawn. Yeah, with Michael J. White. You know what I'm saying? So this was a good classic one here. I think you guys will like this a lot. It's based off the comic book, and it's oddly enough, they haven't really came out with another Spawn since. I mean, like, of course they had the animated series, which is really good. You should look into that. That was great as well. But yeah, this is one that hasn't been followed up or remade, and I think Michael J. White did a great job. I don't know how you know, replace that guy, you know, because he's a grandmaster martial artist, so real deal stuff. But anyway, let's keep it moving, you guys. And another oldie but goldie I have for you is Midnight Run. Yeah, with Robert De Niro. That's a classic movie. A lot of people haven't seen it, or they didn't even know that Robert De Niro was in that movie, but it was a good movie, you guys. It's funny, it's got some action into it, you know. It's a classic. Yeah, you will enjoy, I promise you. Anyway, you guys, I do thank you for tuning in to another edition of Is It Real? The show before you go, you ask Shaydo. And until the next time, you guys, I will see you at the movies. Until then, peace.